Redbridge Council, in partnership with Midas Property Group, welcomes you all to the Landlord Information Event in City of London. This event was held at the City Gates Church Building Conference Centre on Tuesday, September 12, 2017. All were warmly welcomed to refreshments while registration was going on before the start. At this event, landlords in the Borough of Redbridge were invited to share and communicate new regulations, new policies, and property licensing between the council and the landlords. The theme of the event was the key to making rented homes safer. And all this is brought to you by I Medai World. Lily Hamden of Midas Property Group welcomed the guests and introduced the first guest speaker.
Today, all landlords, industry professionals, regulators, council personnel as well. Part of Midas Property Group, we partner with different councils to communicate new regulations, new policies that are taking place between the council and the landlords in the area. Now, we partnered with Redbridge Council and various industry professionals that are going to present to you updates on issues regarding taxation, regarding property licensing and regulation in the council itself. Our first speaker is the council's Community Safety and Enforcement Lead, Mr. Mark Benbow.
Mark Benbow, who is the Community Safety and Informant Lead, began by welcoming the guests. He went on to say that antisocial behavior and street scene issues were some of issues for the council, and landlords and the tenants both have a role to play in this. Hence today's dialogue, and hopefully to give advice to try and resolve most of the issues.
Pleased to be here tonight because actually, as part of the consultation process, we said to landlords, look, we are here to support and help, and this is one of the first opportunities we've had to do that. So we're very keen to develop that and develop a good working relationship as we go on.
Shamal Mashouk, the property licensing manager, had this to say.
This evening. I'm going to talk to you very briefly about property licensing, and we look forward to seeing you at our stall at the end of these presentations.
Shamal Mashouk went on to say that there is a piece of legislation that allows the council in the Housing Act 2004, where Parts 2 and Part 3 allows the council with licensing mandatory of properties in the borough.
I've only been here in Redbridge for about 2.5 months, so I'm still learning how things work, but I'm looking forward to working with all the good landlords out there.
Gary Wallace, the Housing Standards Manager, went on to so illustrate and exhibited various situations and conditions that impact landlords and tenants and the wider community. Harville Tour, Redbridge Enforcement Manager, mentioned Redbridge Enforcement Team are uniform officers with a range of powers from licensing compliance, noise nuisance, and environmental crime across a wide spectrum.
We are a team of uniformed officers that have a range of powers across a spectrum, dealing from everything from licensing compliance, noise nuisance, environmental crime, across the spectrum of environmental crime remit. So things like litter, fly tipping, abandoned vehicles currently all come within the remit of the Redbridge Enforcement Team.
Joanne Woodward, the head of planning and building control in the borough, went on to say that they ensure what they have in the borough good quality stock that is providing good housing for the local residents.
Related individuals.
Sharon Strutt, head of regeneration, gave an insight going forwards to the future and the regeneration aspirations of the borough, and went on to explain the regeneration strategy for the whole borough.
So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about looking forward into the future and our regeneration aspirations for the borough. First and foremost, we're developing a regeneration strategy for Redbridge that will cover the whole borough. An initial paper went to our cabinet in June, and we're taking a full strategy back in November.
We will be going on break now. We're coming back at 7:20. Coffee, tea. When we come back, there's going to be speakers on tax, more regulations, people from Home Office as well, and immigration. So please do come back. There'll be a very
During the break, The guests visited various stalls where different companies showcased their products to help the landlords. The landlords were engaged in one-on-one discussion with the various stalls. After the break, we had more speakers who included Ian Halton, Business Relationship Director, Tima Scores, the Environment Health Manager, Kathy Fielding, Empty Property Manager. This is what Ian Tucker, Trading Standards Officer, had to say.
Will you please let them know that these services are available for them, and then we can get Redbridge looking a lot tidier than it does now.
Sharon Norcross, Immigration Officer, Home Office, gave an insight.
So I'm going to briefly touch on letting agents, subletting, and a little bit on housing standards as well, and the financial implications of failing to do right to rent, from Richard have covered.
Final speaker of the evening was Ranjan Bhattacharya, who gave an insight presentation of the inside of tax issues for the landlords.
Over the next couple of years can leave you in a better position than you were before.
Followed was questions and answers session, where the landlords were able to ask direct questions to the council panelists team.
Surrounding boroughs have exempt nightly let properties. Why has Redbridge decided to not exempt these properties when they are housed by the local council?
Sam Fongo, Director, Midas Property Group, gave the closing remarks, thanking everybody for attending.
You've done such a great job to get us all here today. She's been a wonderful person to work with to actually get this all arranged, and I would like you to give her one more hand of applause, please. Of course, Wendy, you're great as well, supporting Michelle. I'd like to thank all the speakers for coming here today. It's been a very informative day. I hope you all have learned a lot this evening.
Thank you all for coming down.
A hot buffet was served and networking sessions continued. During the networking sessions, we managed to catch up with a few guest speakers and landlords to get their view of the evening event.
Hi, my name's Amir. I'm a local landlord. The event today was very informative. It's a shame they've never done one before, because I think a lot of landlords are not aware, and it adds a lot more professionalism.
Hi there, my name's Rajiv. I'm a landlord. I rent a few properties in this borough. The event itself was a very good mix of public and private. So yeah, well done. The venue was superb. So on the whole, very informative event. I look forward to coming to the next one.
Hi, my name is Farah Hussain, and I am the Cabinet Member for Housing in the London Borough of Redbridge. So my role is I'm responsible for homelessness, the private rented sector, and all housing in the borough, including the housing strategy and council housing. I think the event is really great. I'm really glad that so many landlords have joined us this evening to talk about what it means to be a landlord in Redbridge, and discussing the changes that we're going through in the council. It's really great to start this new relationship with landlords, and I really look forward to working with them in the future.
Hello, I'm Mark Bember. I'm Head of Community Safety and Enforcement for the council. Under my portfolio I have about 11 different teams, and several of those are enforcement teams. One of them is a housing standards team, and the other is the Redbridge enforcement team. Fantastic success. Over 300 landlords have appeared and taken part. All the stalls are still going, and a lot of interest. We've seen 17 different presentations and 17 different styles, but I think that short, sharp input will be a benefit to the landlord.
Good evening, my name is Shamal Mashuk. I'm the Property Licensing Manager. I work for Redbridge Council. I manage a team of 10 officers, enforcement officers and licensing officers. We work in the private rented sector and we license properties to bring them up to a decent standard. We look at improving the management of properties within our area and to improve the conditions in the private rented sector. The piece of legislation that allows us to do that is the Housing Act 2003, which deals with, Part 2 deals with HMOs, which are the larger properties, the houses in multiple occupation. Generally they're known as properties that are shared by individuals who are not related, and selective licences deals with single household properties. The event tonight has been outstanding. It's been very successful. Really pleased to see all the landlords and the council officers. It's just been a success. It's been amazing.
Hello, my name is Wendy Rollings. I'm the head of property licensing at Redbridge Council, and we're here this evening to support landlords, give them access to lots of information from businesses and other council services so that we can improve the condition of the properties in the borough. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm glad to see we've got a nice big turnout and people seem to be asking lots of questions, so they'll be going away a lot more informed than before.
I'm Ursula Beach. I'm the Senior Accommodation Manager at Redbridge and I'm delighted to be at this conference. I didn't expect half as many landlords as we did, so it's plenty of new business for us to be getting on with. I really hope that it will help us achieve our goals and the targets that we have to help homeless households here in Redbridge to find much needed suitable temporary accommodation or new homes in the private rented sector.
My name's Gary Wallace. I'm the Housing Standards Team Manager for the London Borough of Redbridge. I've only been here about 10 weeks, but tonight's been a really good opportunity to meet so many landlords because we're trying to get the message across that we want to drive up standards in Redbridge and try and drive out the bad landlords. The event's been really good, great opportunity to meet lots of landlords and try and put the message across that we're here to give advice, guidance and help, and enforcement will be just the last resort, one of the tools that we've got in our toolbox to try and drive up standards in the private rented.
Hi, my name's Misha Kuller. I'm the Landlord and Tenant Engagement Officer for the London Borough of Redbridge. We're here tonight for our inaugural Landlord Information event and I'm really pleased with the turnout. This is fantastic for us to engage with landlords, tenants and property investors who are working within the borough. For the council, we're obviously introducing our property licensing scheme. We are working with landlords to raise housing standards and address all sorts of issues across the community, and landlords are very important with that. Going forward, I am also talking to landlords here tonight about our forum, which will be happening quarterly, where we'll be working together to shape council policy, again raise awareness, provide training and information, and generally working in partnership with all our landlords and property investors across the community to make Redbridge an excellent place to live. And I'm so pleased about this evening.
Hi, I'm Sahel Iqbal, State Bank of India Manager from Ilford. So I'm very glad to be here today at the Landlord event. We opened the branch last January and we're very happy to be part of the local community. Today State Bank of India has decided to come here because we want to expand our lending requirements in terms of buy-to-let and commercial lending. State Bank of India want to help as many customers as possible in terms of where we can with landlords and in terms of commercial.
Hello, I'm Lily Hamden. I'm part of Midas Property Group. We organised an extremely successful event today alongside Redbridge Council. Our keynote speakers were high influential members of the council, from law enforcers, regulators, licensing specialists as well. Our aim was to deliver new laws and new regulations that are coming into place and communicate that with the landlords of Redford, and it has been extremely successful. We did manage to do that. The landlords were happy and satisfied and pleased with the event. Our aim is to continue to do that across London, to keep the communication going. We are extremely pleased with what we did today, and I hope to see you in our future events as well.
Good evening, everyone. Ori from the Midas Property Group. I'm part of the sales and acquisition team. We've just held an event with the Redbridge Council. This is the first Redbridge Landlord and Investor Forum we've held. It's been a really good evening. I mean, the events teams did a very, very good job. Good turnout, lots of companies here to network, lots of investors, developers. So, generally we organize this event to, give the local landlords a platform to actually speak directly with the council, find out if there's any changes in legislation, and really have their say. This is one of the events we've done this year. With many other events we've done events in the past of Brent, with Harrow Council, Barnet Council, and in fact, the 2nd of November 2017, we're holding another Brent Landlord and Investor Forum. So for those of you who are interested in networking, meeting the right types of people, and also finding out updates in the property market, feel free to come down and network for free, and also mingle with the councils and various other local authorities.
Yeah, I'm Sam Fungo. I work for Midas Property Group. Tonight has been a very successful evening. Actually, I'm very pleased with how tonight is gone. We had a very limited time to actually get this event arranged, probably less than 6 weeks. Tonight has really been a success because of the support that we had from the staff from Redbridge Council. Misha in particular has been very supportive. She sent emails while she's on holidays, and thanks to her that everything has gone so well today. It's the first of many events. We are looking forward to doing another event quite soon with our Redbridge Council. So we look forward to actually doing a whole day event, hopefully getting a lot more speakers. The presentations tonight were excellent, they were great. I invite all landlords from Redbridge to look out for our invitation for the next Redbridge event.